guys, I'm Sari, and welcome to my book space. We just now started November, and I thought, what better video to make than a monthly wrap up of all my reads from October? So, October was basically, 99% an ARC read month for me. And so I thought, let's do a wrap up because these books are way too good to not include in a video on my channel. So, welcome to my first official real video. I hope you enjoy. If you like it, please stick around, subscribe, give it a like, comment. Go to the description of my YouTube page. You can find all my links to my socials, and I'll link them down below as well. And so much more. Find my podcast, give it a listen. If you want to guest on it as an author, wanting to promote new books, new work, published work, wanting to just chat, or if you're a book bestie, a reader that just wants to come on and have like a discussion about like hot takes or basically anything in the bookish world, if you're a business that wants to get the word out, sign up in the form down below in the description, and I can't wait to hear from you. Let's get into the video. Ooh, okay. First up, starting the month off strong to October, I read Up to No Good by Danny Ryan. I gave this one 5 stars. Danny Ryan has become a top author and auto buy author for me. I am very fortunate to have got to ARC read her previous book before this Christmas novella called Don't Tell Me Twice, and it's literally in my top 4 books of all time. Yes, you heard me, of all time. And she's an indie author. Like, what? It's just too good. It's just so good and deserves so much more hype. So if you haven't read that one, please read Don't Tell Me Twice by Danny Ryan and Up to No Good, which is her Christmas novella. I gave this one 5 stars because I absolutely ate it up. It is a lightly inspired by Beauty and the Beast novella, but yet it's got sunshine, grumpy vibes, Grinchy vibes, may you even say. I loved it so much. I just cannot wait to read anything Danny writes. I am so fortunate to know her on a personal level now and be actual friends with her, and I'm so thankful for that. I cannot wait to read all her books in the future and read all the ones that she has published that I have yet to read because they are way up on the TBR now. Way high. Yeah, okay. Izzy and Bo was just one of those couples that make you feel all the feels, and you're just like, this would be the most perfect Hallmark movie, like seriously. Okay, I'm a Hallmark junkie anyway, but this would make for the perfect Hallmark movie. Next up, I read Everyone Loved Her by Cassie Bowen. It was a romantic small town suspense, mystery, thriller, whatever you want to call it. It was so good. I also gave this one 5 stars. The characters were so well written and so thought out, and there was plot twists and turns at like every part of the book. I was just on the edge of my seat and absolutely loved reading it. So yes, it was also a 5-star read for me. I have really fallen in love with reading thrillers and mysteries this year. I never dabbled in the genre till this year, but I'm so glad I discovered it because they have become one of my top 3 favorite genres. Romance, fantasy, thriller. Yeah. Next up, I read Rival Hearts by W. Million.
This was such a fun small town romance. It was my first one in a while. I absolutely loved Maggie and Grady. There was small town politics involved. Grady was a musician, and it was just like it had so many different aspects to the story. There was some fun twists, there was some fun elements to it, and it was just a really good read. And I loved both the characters so much. Instead of like just liking one more than the other, I connected with both of them very much, which made for an overall exciting read for me. This one was a 4-star. So if you like small town romance, definitely give this one a try. Next up, I read Mr. Heartbreaker by Piper Rain. This is book 1 in the Nest series, and I cannot believe when I got the email that I was selected for an arc of this book. I absolutely loved it. I'm a sucker for sports romance, hockey romance. This one was not lacking. This was a story about Kylie and Rowan Landry, who is center for the Chicago Falcons hockey team, and Kylie meets him at a wedding. So they connect, and she's living her best life, and then all of a sudden, things take a little bit of a turn. Connor, which is Kylie's brother, is also a hockey player, and she made a deal with him long ago to not date one of his teammates. Well, it's all fun and games until Connor gets traded to the Chicago Falcons. So, yeah, that made for a very fun read. I loved the chemistry between Rowan and Kylie. I loved all the friend aspects. I loved the story. It was just a great read, which is why it was 5 stars for me. And it is very spicy. So if you like spice, or if you don't like spice, just thought you might want to know that info. Next up, I read A Kissed Awake by Mimi Gunn. This is book 1 in the Marta Loop mystery series. You follow Louise and Gregory, and it was such a fun read. The mystery was very well done and very quick. Like, it started very quickly, like when things started taking a little bit of a now that's getting intense, which means there wasn't like a lot of waiting around to see what was gonna start the plot, what was gonna start happening. It was very well done, very well written, and I absolutely loved it. It was so much fun to read, and it was actually kind of creepy in the beginning, but it made for a really good mystery. I highly recommend if you're looking for a new mystery with a little bit of spice, lots of chemistry, definitely check that one out, as it was a 4-star read for me. Next up, I read The Useless Witch by Savannah Lee. This was my first fantasy in a while, and it did not disappoint. The story, the plot, the magic, the shapeshifters, there were so many intriguing elements to this story, and it was so well written and so much fun. It had me on the edge of my seat. It will give you all the feels as well. I can't recommend it enough. It was a 4.5-star read for me. I absolutely loved it, and I can't wait for the second book. Then I read If This Was a Movie by Morgan Elizabeth. This book was 5 stars for me. I have been loving getting to help promote this book. I have loved being a part of Morgan's content team. I could not believe my eyes when I got the email that I was sent an arc of this book. I absolutely loved reading about the story. It centers around single dad Nate, his little daughter Sophie, and Jules. And not to spoil too much or give too much away, but it's about his daughter Sophie thinking her Christmas wish has come to life. Enter Jules. It was such a fun read, so Christmassy, and I loved the catchphrase that was like said a lot throughout the book. I won't say what it is because it's fun when you get to read it for yourself. But I loved that. I loved all the elements of it, and I just could not get enough. Still haven't got over this book. So yeah, this was a 5-star read for me. Definitely check it out if you love a good Christmas book with all the feels. Finally, for October, I read First Light by Elizabeth Hunter. This was a 4-star read for me, and it was so good. This was another fantasy, and it not only had dragons, yes, dragons, but it had so many different creatures, so many different elements. I honestly don't know how she created such a dynamic world and done it so well. I don't want to give too much away about what the creatures are that you'll see and encounter in this book, but definitely give it a read if you love everything magical and whimsy, with plot twist, with chemistry, with a love triangle, with just anything that you can put to shake things up. It's in this book, and it was so good. I cannot wait for more work from the author. I absolutely love this arc. I cannot recommend it enough. Yeah, it was just amazing. And also, I absolutely loved how it was sort of set in Scotland, because I'm actually, like, my family is from Scotland, and I love being of Scottish heritage. I love having that element in a fantasy book, which you don't really get that often. It was just very magical and very real, and almost 500 pages, and it is so very well packed with story, plotline, twists, creativity, and very well done. So if you want a good fantasy book that will give you such magical experiences, definitely give this one a try. That basically wraps up my October wrap up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, leave me a comment down below. Find the links to my socials all in the description and on my channel, and I can't wait to talk to you guys next time. I'm Sari, and welcome to my book space. Bye!